Hey guys, what's going on? Street Trading here, coming at you again. We got our weekly trade watch list video popping up right here. We are looking at a 15-minute chart of SPY for the week of the 23rd, 27th, something like that. And let's get into it. So 50-day defending yet again. So obviously, it continues to stand strong as a level of buying opportunity. And again, like anything else, guys, until it is changing, until that sentiment changes, trade as such, right? So obviously last Thursday and Friday continued to defend and prove that level is going to continue to hold. High probability we're going to take out the 450. Well, actually the previous week's highs, 13th highs, and obviously 450 is right there. Keep talking about 500. I'm not obviously going to print 500 this week, but at this rate, we should swallow before the end of the year, guys. Unless that character change consistent, because last week's session was pretty sloppy to the downside. Obviously, it brought out a lot of fear, and that's why we like to take things down to the downside, because there, the market is basically fear versus greed, and fear usually wins the game. So when that starts to happen in the market, things happen much quicker, faster, and a little more easier to spot, because that emotion, when someone's losing money, when their position is getting deeper in the red, they can only take so much. And there's going to be an uncle point where they're out, I'm out, and then it speeds up that process, and that's why it gives us such a nice opportunity. Elevator down, what stairs up, right? That's what they say about stocks, and it's pretty accurate. Anyway, we found the basement floor on Thursday session. I moved to the upside. So moving forward, we obviously not going to go much more into depth for next week's session. We talked about it in our weekly recap. If you haven't checked that video, go check it out before this. Push pause here and go check that out. We see some moves setting up off a nice multi-day, multi-week pullback to the upside. Obviously got downside as well. But let's get into what we're looking at for this week's session. As always, like we talk about, we set our levels, our if this and that scenarios. If and only if when our levels get breached is we'll put on risk. If they don't get breached, we set alerts on all of our levels. If they do not get breached, we do not put on risk, and we don't put on we don't trade that security. We don't trade that plan, and we just scrap it, right? And then we talk about, you've done the work, you built the list, whether it's a weekly or daily or monthly, however you extract capital. Until your thesis is wrong, continue to stock it. So we'll continue to stock our weekly, right, until what? Until we are wrong. Until clearly we are wrong. Otherwise, we just wait. We'll wait. Monday can turn into Wednesday, can turn into Friday. We have securities on our week ahead that we've had for a couple of weeks already. All right. So because we're not wrong yet, right? And that's what it's about, guys. Right? You put in the work, stick with the work that you have put in until you are wrong. Not being in the security and in the trade and having to take a loss. Now we're talking about getting involved until you are wrong, till those levels that you see that there's obviously a clear, significant character change. Continue to stock it, stick with your alerts, and if and when the alerts trigger, your levels are ready to go, then you get involved. Because a lot of times, guys, you're just early. A lot of times we are just early. Can't tell you how many times, right? So stick with the original thesis when your mind's chill, relaxed. We're doing work on the weekend. Things are different. You know what I mean? Your mind's a little bit at a different pace, right, than during the week with the market, ripping. So you're seeing things a little differently, a little more relaxed, right? So keep that in mind when you're building your list and sticking with your list. All right, enough chatter. Let's get into what we're looking at for this week ahead.